Hey guys, Redx here. Today, today, it's finally happening. The finale of DC's Superhero Girls, Trouble Across the Multiverse, has begun. I know it's been a while because I'm sorry to say this, but for some reason, the rest of the story has been deleted, and I had to look through every shade of paper that I ever made, that I ever wrote down about the story, was about the story I made up, and it's finally happening. I was able to get my head clear in the game, and I finally done it. And also, before we start this, I want to do this. Look, I made this, my own rolling vice stamp. Is it all rad? Anyway, let's start off. The last time we left off, we noticed that Karen Beecher, Bumblebee, and her alternate versions of the DC Superhero Girls had been transported back into time to the day that the Conqueror of Azrath destroyed both the DC Superhero Girls and the Supervillain Girls. But this time, Karen was able to save her friends along with her alternate versions of the DC Superhero Girls in the final blow against the Conqueror of Azrath. Due to this, the rest, Karen's friends and her alternate versions of her friends were shocked to see themselves. And Karen explained to them about the situation. And after they cleared all of this, they were able to work together to face against the Conqueror of Azrath. But both her friends and her alternate versions of her friends were shocked to know that Karen created an alternate version of herself and decided to get some answers out of it. So Karen's counterpart explains to her the reason why she became a villain and worked for the Conqueror of Azrath is because she took her place in the world that she created. In the world that Karen Beecher created, she created an alternate version of herself who is extremely shy, just like her, but ever since she knew of her existence, she felt left out and decided to get revenge on her for taking her place, which led her to be found by the villains of the multiverse. Karen was really shocked to find out that her counterpart is evil, and why she did all these things. And that's the reason why she helped the Conqueror of Azrath. But after they cleared things out, Karen decides to forgive her and decide to give her a chance to make things right for all the bad things she'd done by facing against the Conqueror of Azrath. In the streets of Metropolis, where the Conqueror of Azrath had mind control of the Supervillain Girls, he revealed himself into his true form, and his real name, since we all know that he can't be called that. The Conqueror of Azrath is none other than the villainous Trigon. You know Trigon, Raven's father, conqueror of helpless worlds. And this ultimate version of Trigon exists in a dimension where he was sealed away by the Time Lords along with Booster Gold. Booster was able to explain to Karen why they imprisoned him in this stone that he's been trapped inside for years, and Trigon decides to take on his revenge by destroying the DC Superhero Girls so they won't prevent him from ever to stop him in the future. So now it's up to the DC Superhero Girls and Karen's version of the DC Superhero Girls to defeat Trigon along with the Supervillain Girls. After the alternate versions of the DC Superhero Girls took down the Supervillain Girls, the original DC Superhero Girls faced against Trigon, but 6 of them weren't enough, and then the alternates decided to do it themselves, but that didn't work out either. which led all 12 of them to work together. And they were unstoppable until Trigon used the multiverse to his advantage and decides to absorb alternate worlds to make his power. And he grew bigger and bigger and bigger until to destroy the Earth, which led to Booster Gold and the other Time Lords to lend the superhero girls their powers to have them a fighting chance against Trigon. And as you know it, the colors glow around them, and they both work together, and they were able to defeat Trigon for good and return back into his crystallized form and be sealed away forever. After this whole incident has stopped, Karen, along with her friends, thanked the alternate versions of themselves to help them restore time and also help them defeat Trigon for good. And Karen explains to Booster, now what? And Booster says that these versions can't exist in the same world at the same time. Karen decides to grant one last wish, to let her versions of the superhero girls exist along with her alternate counterpart that she created. She realized that if it weren't for her actions that day, she wouldn't have created this team, and she wouldn't have met her evil counterpart who became good. And now the superhero girls that Karen created returned back to their world, and Karen was glad and shed tears of joy knowing that she was able to save her friends from Trigon. What a happy ending indeed. Sorry it took so long for me to actually get this done. It's been a while and I lost track. I know I usually start with I done chapter titles, but I'm sorry to know that the Google Slides of my story was deleted. But I'm glad I was able to finish it. But well, stay tuned for my next story. Like, comment, and subscribe. Until then, Red X out.